Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another... Okay, he's going for mills. I was a bit wondering, like, I see all the villagers rushing forward, something that sounds like I would do. Spawn on the top side as the red French, we have 3D cap. Spawn on the south side as the blue Abbasid Dynasty, we have DivineDFP. French versus the Abbasid Dynasty. French, of course, is their standing composition in feudal age is the Royal Knight and Archer. Abbasid Dynasty, of course, can pull out some camel archers, it will be very helpful versus both of those items. So a mix of, and later on you could access camel riders, but until that point, probably a good composition. Oh, for School of Cavalry as well. Good composition would probably be spearmen and horsemen to start out with the game with some archers to boot as well. Probably asking quite a bit. Got the military wing going on out, trying to defend himself with a small little force here. The quality of stream dropped? Maybe something on your end. I have not dropped any network frames, so I do not believe there's anything on my side. It could be something on YouTube's side or on your own side. Don't mean to sound rude. We do have the fishies now being banned. He does spot the School of Cavalry being in the middle of the map. Destroying this will not silence the effects of the reduced production speed. Yep, it may just been an issue of YouTube or your own network. Got a small little force advancing forward. Torching down the house is probably the better option. Not only easier, they also will actually do some decent effect of putting your opponent at pop cap. And that would actually put your opponent on pop cap. They have a home wrecker, these people are. Scout advancing forward. Does not try to shank the scout. Oh yeah, the French one uses an axe, right? It says sword. I'm pretty sure the French scouts use an axe. And what's worse way to be pursued by than a crazy woman with an axe? We do now have this house now set ablaze. He will need to get that house rebuilt, along with some other housing. He does get a single archer here. He may want to get out more archers. He does have a Royal Knight being deployed on the field. It's going to be around this side. He could try pushing it right here, but he's trying to avoid the spearman. If he's able to get some good damage on the spearman, there we go. He does pour it out right there. And does get a bit of damage there. Trying to focus on these spearmen. If you take out the spearman, then the Royal Knight can take out the other stuff. But he's getting out more spearmen now. They are hardened spearmen now. That's getting fire there onto the scout. One of Red's archers is severely wounded. One arrow from death or one spear poke. Try to go for spear brace there, unsuccessful. Does take out that wooden archer there, very nice. Red's archer falling back, trying to focus on these spearmen. Does get some good hits there. Does receive some hits there on his own Royal Knight, however. No additional Royal Knights being put on the field. Never mind, there's now a Royal Knight on the build queue now. Trying to torch on the School of Cavalry. Fresh foodstuffs on the build queue. We do have wheelbarrow for the Abbasid Dynasty player, so does the French player. Blue's archers almost went down. He's getting some more archers, and 90 additional spearmen at the moment. He may want to get out at least a couple more spearmen just to make sure the Royal Knights don't get anything cheeky. Does get a charge attack there, and does get some damage down on that archer now. Is that one of the archers there? Another one of Red's archers do go down to focus on this spearman, and there goes all the spearmen there. He needs to you have to maintain your spearman production against the French, because if you're just all of a sudden run out of spearmen, now you got these Royal Knights trying to hack apart your archers as they try to run away through the marsh. You got a single spearman here. He can do some good damage there, but he can get completely focused down. Does get a good hit down the wounded Royal Knight. Down to 2 health there. He may want to just fall back to, say, the far side of his base and wait till Shirley gets researched, because at 2 health, not going to be doing all too much. As one with 2 health, it's going to make some harassment there with the other Royal Knight. Falling back now, another Royal Knight pull on the field. Yeah, send this wounded Royal Knight. Maybe just send him to the top corner of the map, so once you find Chivalry, you get it healed up. But even suppose even these wolves even pose a threat to these Royal Knights. There's no wolf up there. No exotic doggos demanding head pats. Got a couple sheeple here. Got a forward archer range here. There's a couple villagers here for some odd reason. They could potentially pull out an outpost here and get arrow slits to be a good defensive spot for this region. Red and Abbasid Dynasty doesn't need siege engineers to pull out battering rams. Does take out the sheep there. Spearmen advancing forward with the archers. School of Cavalry still has plenty of health. The archer range does have a lot less health than the School of Cavalry, being a non-landmark. And now the Scout and Royal Knights trying to advance forward. They're moving right here. This will help take out these vulnerable reinforcements. Another Royal Knight on the build queue. Not on the. You can always build them the backline stable. They do cost the same out here, and they do have both the same deployment times. You don't have to build it from the School of Cavalry. Couldn't find another archer there. Could potentially focus on these spearmen as well. Does get a good hit there on the scout, which is actually good for red because that scout does have health regen and will provide a lot less power effect damage there. It does lose the scout, however, entirely. That does pose a bit of a problem. Royal Knights could get a charge attack there on these villagers. He does have textiles. Archer range has been torched down. We have another archer range and stable here. And something garrisoned inside this tower, or town center, could be that wounded knight that we saw earlier. This Royal Knight has gone down. This one is rotating around. Red has a much smaller force than blue, but the quality is only slightly in favor of blue. However, he does have a very powerful counter force with these spearmen against these Royal Knights. But red right now is displaying out a lot of archers. Boot camp now being put on field. This will provide a massive benefit to blue's infantry force, archer and spearman included. Finds good volley there on some of these blue spearmen there. Very nice. Does fall back on lose one archer in return. And now boot camp research. Now blue's archer should be able to win out in 1v1s. Does have +1 pierce damage. Red has +1 hack damage. Royal Knight, he does have chivalry upgraded. Gonna go for a charge there. Does get the attack off. Royal Knight needs to fall back. School of Cavalry is almost down. We got Pierce armor now being researched by blue, so overall blue's going for a higher quality research. Red's going for a Pierce armor as well. Very nice. Very useful, especially for those Royal Knights. Other archer range being put on the field. He's going to be eyeing for more archers. Royal Knights finding some reinforcements there. And now, at the current rate, with one landmark destroyed, blue has an opportunity to do something that you don't usually see. He could try to do a battering ram rush on the opponent's town center to knock him out of the game instantly. It is a possibility. Not sure if it's a good idea. And he's Abbasid Dynasty. You don't require siege engineers, so he already has access to battering rams. These Royal Knights have seen quite a bit of damage there. They may want to just fall back, get some health regen. He does get this knight evacuated outside the town center, you can see here. And that was that severely wounded one, so chivalry is being very useful getting him healed up. Exotic Doggo does prevent him getting any more health regen on one of those Royal Knights. And this is going to take time to repair up the landmark. It's not critical to repair it up. It's simply a single stable at this moment of time. Of course, it's very healthy and can hold back your opponent for quite some time trying to torch it down. Ooh, look at this. Two berry deposits right next to each other. He does miss one of the berry bushes with the mill, with the extra capacity, but it's probably not really worth it to get another mill just for it. So probably another mill over here would help with collection rate either way, and would provide additional 100 food, and mills are what, 50? Yeah, 50. So that would be technically cost efficient. Turning 50 for 100 while also being good collection efficient. But either way, I can understand what another people won't exactly do that. Red's now trying to clean up some of these fishies. There's also these sheep carcasses here. and rotting the water. Still very delicious. After all, who doesn't want soggy sheep? It's not like it's soggy wool. Royal Knights charging forward, trying to find a good engagement. And they will find one, getting 3 villagers killed almost instantaneously. Another villager goes down as well. That's 4 villagers killed off immediately, putting Red in a massive villager lead. Even though Blue's only killed 1, Blue's been a little bit absconding in his villager production for a couple months. He's also getting another scout. More of these reinforcements being picked on off. Red right now does have 32 archers for opponent's 28s. So, oh, does get a spear brace there. Phalanx finding the extra range is very important for those spear braces. Red does have a spear number of archers here, and they would like to hit everything here, but it's probably a good idea to focus on those spearmen. Spearman getting some pokes there onto these red archers there. Royal Knights now charging forward. He needs to make sure to focus on these spearmen. Allows Royal Knights more free reign over his opponent's archers. Getting some damage there. He does hit the villager a little bit. Red's coming back down off. Got 34 versus 34 military units on the field. Royal Knights gain some much needed health regen. They're all a little bit battered and bruised. Or in the sky. We only have Golden Age Tier 1, but Golden Age Tier 1 is where most of your benefits come from. Tier 3 provides us good benefits as well, but Tier 2 is not that great in my opinion. Research speed, not so much. The increased resource collection of all resources is incredibly powerful. The French, in comparison as well, doesn't have any economic benefits until they get a castle wage and deploy out a keep for reduced deployment costs of units. Which is still very strong, can be further decreased to 30%. They are now being pushed around. He does have a line of palisade walls there, so these Royal Knights can't advance to that region unless they torch it down. If he's paying attention, he will hear these deer being knocked around and see them being knocked around. I think, though, he has a vision of these guys with these buildings nearby either way. I got a good number of archers here. 38 archers by blue, 36 archers by red, but in red still some reinforcements being brought on in as well. Archers advance forward, does find a good volley there, but remember as well, the blue archer is a little bit higher quality than his opponent. Does get some spear brace there on some of these Royal Knights, picks off one of the Royal Knights now. Spirit could be just generally a move forward. Takes out another scout there. Doesn't find a hit there onto those Royal Knights. Royal Knights taking a bit of beating there. Another Royal Knight does go down to the archer fire. He does have smaller military force on the field. He does have a single camel archer, which is right here, providing the camel unease benefit to these nearby units. Reducing the damage output of these Royal Knights by 20%. As well as those two bonus temperatures as light or melee units, but of course this one doesn't have any. Does get the town center arrows firing as well. Red's now falling back. Blue has less force on the field, and Blue's force's overall quality and resources less, but it does have a little bit more resources, including hack damage, as well as boot camp. So the Royal Knights gain some much needed health regen. What remains of them? So there's actually a lot that remains of them, which means a lot of health benefits. Most of these berries have been claimed, so he's going to be running out of that food deposit. He does have these berries down here, so he's already building a mill. He is getting arrow slits here. Let's see how many villagers nearby. He does have 15, so he has enough garrison space for these people. When the French come knocking on in. One village may have been left behind there. Arrow slits are being researched as well, gaining some extra damage on these arrows, as well as +1 range. Let's get a good spear brace there on 4 of those Royal Knights, able to take a good number of them out. Red's now falling back and having trouble exiting that choke point there. Great engagement there from Blue, taking out a good number of those Royal Knights. Now he does have the outpost of blood on field. And we do got a good number of mills in some of the map. You may want to get out some additional mills there. He's collecting up these fishies. They learned something about from the bricks as they invaded land. Fish and chips. You now have these farms going up as well. He's trying to get some more food sources. Not really a whole lot of there. There's 4 berries as well as a fishing deposit. We're all nice trying to find another engagement, but of course they will be spotted. Right now, Blue's nowhere near game's next age, nor is Red, so both cards are not eyeing for Castle Age. Let's get inside the tower there. Does get some slice on those villagers, not really successful, however. Or nice falling on back now. The Duke currently have 4 pierce armor, so these archers are only doing 2 damage each for them, not a whole lot. And they only have sporadic damage across all of them, so Chivalry will get them topped off enough quite nicely. You got 72 military units versus 71 military units.
Si comprendo. Okay.
Red's trying to find another engagement. He could go for siege engineers to help batter down this region. It will especially put up some big holes in these palisade walls there. Does have the outpost now firing away. He does have 20 villages in this region, so it's not enough room for everybody. These are all nice advanced forward. There's a handful of spearmen in this region. You may find the deers. Let's get a great charge attack there, taking out a good number of those villagers. Red's falling back. The village count is 70 to 70. Red has killed more. Blue does have 2 sound centers. One only has full of 1. So it looks like Blue's not been maintaining good village production, or Red's doing a good job of calling the extra village production. Doing 12 versus opponent's 2. Got some good attacks there on these villagers. They're trying to get in that tower there. But of course the rest will be sliced apart. Does take out those couple of row 9s here, but those lose a number of villagers. I mentioned before on the increased production rate. Blue still has a better economy than his opponent due to the Golden Age Tier 1. At 15%, just assume there's 50% more villagers right here. So just assume there's about, what, another 10 villagers? And that is Blue's income. He also has all the economic text here. Red is just missing the gold compared to his opponent as well. We're all nice trying to make their way forward as well. There's only a handful of these guys collecting up these forest puppers. There's still a good number of them out in the field as well. There's 4 of them still standing. And of course the one taking a bit of a nap. Oops, hit my desk. We do now have the outpost has been destroyed. He does abandon it, does save those villagers. Economically not being researched, so the Abbasid Dynasty player is now advancing the next age, but the French player is not. The economic wing will of course allow him access to additional research. It does have Golden Age Tier 2, so that it does have faster research speed, which is going to be very useful to get a technological advantage at this age. You have access to the Fertile Crescent, not important. Agriculture, this is going to be important when he starts getting out more and more farms. And the composite bow can be very useful as well, making his archers that have a little bit more health will have a lot more attack speed, and he'll have access to other resources like the veteran archer research as well. So soon his archers will be a much higher quality. There's 96 archers, soon to be 100 archers in the French, and the Abbasid player only has 72 archers. Going for the camel riders wouldn't be half bad, but the first level of armor research is melee armor, not pierce armor. So they're a little bit double-edged sword versus these archers. Run from outposts here. That's not a good idea. This note does pick up one of those villagers. Trying to torch down some more of these wall segments. Outpost is still healthy. Real nice to see a bit of fire there. Trying to go for this outpost as well. Spawn not a good idea to go for the outpost. But we now have this spearman now engaged in a bit of a frenzy here. Let's get the outpost going up. He does have a bit of gold to work with the research. He's still going to be a bit hard bad on research. He needs to get the up and going. These villagers need to get on out of there. You have still going to take a bit of time. Another 45 seconds for both. Which one has to hold the line? He's trying to hold the line, trying to hold back his opponent. You have similar military numbers right there. Red is trying to make the breach here. If he doesn't crack his opponent now, he will probably lose the game. Trying to fall him back now. He's not getting any blacksmith research at the moment, so extra pierce armor would not hurt. The camel archer does go down there, so now these royal knights are engaging at full strength now. And there's a composite bows, increasing the attack speed significantly. He also has some Giloms now pulling the field. They do have a high attack speed. Royal Institute now on the build queue for the French player. Trying to stall out, trying to get his own castle reach because he realizes he can't be dealing with these advanced archers, which right now they're a veteran archer, I should say. They had to increase damage to do 8 damage per arrow with a higher attack speed, making their attack speed 1.12, versus these archers only 6 damage and attack speed of 1.62. These guys fire 33% faster and have hit much harder at the moment. Royal Institute being built by 32 villagers. He's really trying to get it out. There it is. He needs to get his own veteran archer research. He's going for the veteran Royal Knight as well. Or just the veteran Royal Knight. He does, I think, quickly buy up, sell off some resources there to get the veteran archer research as those pierce armor. Trying to hold the line. Has a small military force in the field. He's going for arbaletiers. The passive could be very useful in holding the line against these archers. Town center was not garrisoned. If you would have thrown a bunch of these archers inside that town center, that could have been a great defensive point there. Now just got a bit of a runaround going on. Who now has a weird angle. Now he's moved back to his base. He could try pulling a battering ram quickly. Veteran archer research is not complete just yet. Going for Cantus Saddles. Cantus Saddles pulling not that great. There's nothing to really stop these Royal Knights from hitting these archers hard. Elons are going to be holding the line for the time being, but they'll have that trouble versus man arms and not counters to them. Both sides archers are firing against each other. Red's Royal Knights are being picked off one at a time. He's focusing those guys down first as they pose a bigger threat to his army. Now Guillaume's had gone for a nice little flank there, surrounds the French archers, and now the French archers are starting to get ripped apart. He needs to run them into the town center. He needs to run them into the town center so he can start firing, and at least they'll be firing arrows, not exactly great arrows, but they will be at least firing some arrows. And Red's archers are disintegrated, and Red does back to the game now. This is Anne Grade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.